Hello everyone. I have come across in last 12 13 years many examples of arrogance of United States, hubris, immorality of the government, and all sort of insanity. Not to mention, all the illegal wars they have conducted over the years, and death and destruction of many countries and their populace. Uh, and this is one of the example in the same category. Um, so United States is introducing a bill called Accountability for Cryptocurrency in El-Salvador Act. And what it is to mitigate the potential risk to US financial system. I mean, look at the arrogance. You don't own that country. The citizens of that country choose their own leaders and politicians. And if that country has introduced Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever cryptocurrency as one of their reserve assets, or want to do that or have already, how the hell that comes under the jurisdiction of United States? And who the hell is US to act and ensure that US doesn't suffer because of introduction of such cryptocurrencies, when the dollar is being devalued left, right and center. So if US was taking right actions and behaving morally and democratic and for the people, and not corrupting its monetary system and financial system, yeah, I mean, there would be at least some leg to stand on, that we want to ensure that, hey, our type of democracy is adopted across the world. I mean, at least they can say they would have some leg to stand on. Even then, I would say that if the people of some other foreign nation make decisions to the contrary, they have every right to. It's their own country. Who the hell is Australia or Canada or US to dictate their terms to any other country? Now, having said that, I'm all for republics and democracies and so on and so forth. But that doesn't mean that I get the right to actually dictate my terms to anybody else. But yeah, I'm even though I shouldn't be surprised, but still, it's a constant reminder that how corrupt the system is, and it will basically stop at nothing but common man's destruction, no matter the cost. It's like, what that um, famous word from Peacemaker, that no matter how many people, or, or kids and women I have to kill to maintain peace, I will do it. Something like that, some craziness like that. So it's like that, with US. No matter how many countries it has to destroy through economic hitmans or wars and so on and so forth, but US will bring its own type of democracy across the world. um, anyway, so Reich or Rish, Mendez Cassidy introduced legislation to mitigate risk of El Salvador's adoption of Bitcoin. So U.S. Senators Jim Reich, Bob Mendez, ranking member and chairman of Senate Foreign Relations Committee, and Bill Cassidy today introduced the Accountability for Cryptocurrency in El Salvador Act, legislation requiring a State Department report on El Salvador's adoption of Bitcoin, a cryptocurrency, as legal tender, and a plan to mitigate potential risks to U.S. financial system. I mean, if U.S. was handling its financial system right, there won't be any risk. Might as well include Bitcoin as part of reserves as well. But because these alternatives are a threat to U.S. dominated financial system across the world, they will not stop at anything, be it war or whatever, to maintain it, to continue it. And that's how the empires end up dying. Basically, they want to continue their power, and they come up with these stupidities like stretching themselves to nth degree. I mean, they have no reason to do anything, and to even talk about what El Salvador is doing. It's a tiny country. Nobody even has heard of it. I mean, it's that small. Unbelievable. El Salvador adoption of Bitcoin as legal tender raises significant concerns about the economic stability and financial integrity of vulnerable U.S. trading partner in Central America. So that's their excuse, that somehow this will uh, um, impact the financial integrity of U.S. trading partner in Central America. Who is that central trading partner they're talking about? I'm assuming they're talking about El Salvador itself, but it's their prime minister or president, their chosen leader, who has done it. Then who the hell is U.S. to talk about it? This new policy has the potential to weaken U.S. sanctions policy. Well, see, that's cat is out of the bag. So weaken U.S. sanction policy. See, if U.S. cannot dictate the terms, then perfect excuse, and we can't let that happen. Empowering malign actors like China and organized criminal organizations. So that's their excuse, that Salvador will go into Chinese camp, or people in organized crime organizations can use these bitcoins to um, create or maintain their influence. Bipartisan legislation seeks greater clarity on El Salvador's policy and requires the administration to mitigate potential risks to the U.S. financial system. El Salvador recognizing Bitcoin as official currency opens the door for money laundering cartels and undermining US interest. I mean, look at the arrogance. And this is when so many US banks, top banks, BOA, Wells Fargo, I don't even remember, probably all of them, Citi, JP Morgan, they have been fined for this very reason, money laundering. So US banks doing that using US dollars is acceptable, but hey, don't anybody else dare do that. Said Dr. Cassidy, if the United States wishes to combat money laundering and preserve the role of dollar as reserve currency, now that's the key. They want to preserve the role of dollar as reserve currency of the world, and there can't be any other competitor. We must tackle this issue head on. State Department report would require analysis of El Salvador adoption of Bitcoin as legal tender and the risks for cybersecurity, economic stability, and democratic governance in El Salvador. A plan to mitigate potential risks to the US financial system. Anyway, so this came out on February 16th, and if we try to open this, let's see. Short title, so it's the same thing. What they have written in there is pretty much the same thing. And what was here? Okay, that's it. So anyway, have a read. I will post the link. But just a food for thought that should US be doing something like this, messing in somebody else's affairs. All right, please share your thoughts, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.